In DuPage County, homelessness is I think, quite hidden. And so because it is a wealthy community, it's not well known, and people need to become much more aware of it.
My landlord was going up on the rent, which I could not afford at the time, and it was hard for me to try to find an apartment with my credit report being so bad.
I was in an abusive relationship for 7 years, and I was married for that long. And after that amount of time, after the abuse started being directed toward my children, I took steps to leave and make a better life for ourselves.
I was with a top retailer that was going through a lot of major economical issues too, so I had to step down from my job. And it took me about 8 to 10 months to find a new job, and in the process of that I got evicted.
We really work out of this grassroots model that our founders first started. The idea that people can make a difference, that people can change things in the world.
When Mark and I started talking about this, I had heard about a little girl who was living in a car and going to the local grade school about 4 blocks away from my house. And when the school found out that she was homeless, her parents just drove away, just moved away. And I thought, gee, that can't happen in Glen Ellen. As Mark and I met, we brought our friends together and they sat in my living room, and we passed around a legal pad and said, look, we want to rent one apartment to help one family recover from being homeless.
We were just 2 volunteers from a church who decided to make that commitment, and we went ahead and did it.
Well, Bridge is a lifeline. I mean, Bridge is literally a bridge for a lot of people who just need that extra helping hand, that extra structure, something that's going to raise them up. We see that there are people in our community that are homeless, families that are sleeping in our church basement, and so we think that we can do one small thing to make a difference for someone. And out of that move came the birth of Bridge Community.
Families are doubled up or tripled up with other people who are just bouncing from one friend to another and wearing out their welcome because of the amount of effort that they're wear and tear on that household. And they are desperate to find a place for themselves. They're sort of the hidden homeless.
We operate between passion and obsession here at Bridge. And day after day, we see families calling our office and coming into our offices and being in our program that are working so hard to try and make a better life for themselves and their family. And the very small piece of it that we do in assisting them just motivates me, you know, when I see these families coming through here and how hard they're working.
I didn't have any experience in helping people who were homeless, but Mark and I have that same passion. Particularly, we're drawn to helping families with children.
Homeless children are very transitional. So many of them have been in many different schools, and every time they change schools, they lose 6 to 9 months of academic progress. So Bridge recognized quite a while ago that tutoring our children was a very important part of what we provide to our families.
Housing costs had risen dramatically even in the first 7 years we were working. I think when we started, we rented our first apartment for $500. 7 years later, we were paying more like $725 or $750 for an apartment. And so we decided that one of the things that we could do to move this transitional housing program forward was to begin to buy and build our own buildings so we could control those real estate costs more.
We now have 12 buildings, including buildings that are scattered all over DuPage County. We've acquired one additional building recently just for the purpose of converting it from a 6-flat into 6 condominiums. We've received a grant from a foundation to help us reduce the prices of those condominiums so that we'll have 2-bedroom condominiums available for $100,000 for our graduating families to be able to buy.
We work at finding as many services that can help them as we work together with the mentors when it comes to daycare and finding if they need food stamps or the medical card. A lot of those things they might not be aware of when they first come to us.
I'm working with the clients to be able to move them from being petrified to go on a job interview to, at the end, to have them say to me, wow, I do have a lot to offer when I go and interview. It is a high to watch them progress and then to see them when they call and say, I got offered a job.
I've never seen anybody that cooperated with the program that didn't come out a lot better and didn't see an opportunity to have a better life than they thought they were going to have when we first met them.
I was able to get into the program and 15 months later move on and be self-sufficient. Now we are in our own home. I'm very content.
When Bridge came into my life, it allowed me to see that we all make mistakes, and it's not necessarily that it was a bad thing. They're willing to give you another chance. So they gave me extended life.
They help you out so you can be independent, you can be that mom, you can be that person that you want to be.